Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Jake Profit. Today I'm going to give you a tutorial on how to create a poster and a two-panel brochure using the platform of Canva. I have already opened a page to Canva. This is the home screen. At the home screen, when I started my designs, I searched for templates. Within the templates, I search for a 11 by 7 poster because those are the requirements. As you can see, there are a lot of templates that come up so that you can pick and design something on your needs. However, in my projects, I have already picked a template. This is the template that I started with. So I am going to make a poster for Red Ribbon Week for the high school. As you can tell in Canva that everything is editable. You can move, delete, adjust everything that is on here. On the left side, you've got your design. You can adjust the design of your template. These are the different elements that you can search for and use within Canva. Here's your text boxes and different styles of text boxes you may put. The tools has different drawings, lines, shapes, things you can use. So to get started, there are a lot of things on here that I do not require or do not need. And I am going to go ahead and get rid of those. I am going to utilize this text box, and I'm going to label it Red Ribbon Week. The nice thing about Canva is that all of these are adjustable. You can adjust the font by using the plus and minus, or you can adjust the font by dragging the box to where you want. Also within Canva, they give you guiding lines to make sure everything is lined up, and it will give you measurements once you get more on the page. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an element, and what I want is a red ribbon in the middle of that poster, so I'm just going to type in red ribbon. And I'm going to grab this graphic, and it's all automatically going to place it for me. The nice thing about Canva is that I can adjust this to the size and specifications I want, but I can also use Canva to align it appropriately. If you will see that it gives you guidelines on everything that is to where you want to have it placed. I do not need these text boxes or this graphic at the bottom. I am, however, going to keep this text box, and I think I want to make it a little larger so that I can allow for some hierarchy. But what I need to add is the text that I have already pre-filled. And as you can tell, it's too big for the area, but with Canva it allows you to make it the size that you want it and adjust for the document, but you can also adjust to make sure that you have everything lined up appropriately. Changing the text font in here is easy. You just have to click the box, select the color that you want, and you're done. I am going to add transparency to these dots that are already preloaded on this template so that they're more visible. I am also going to add another one. I'm going to simply duplicate, and I'm going to add it over here, just so, to add a little bit more to the page. I'm also going to add a text box. I'm going to say show your school spirit. These text boxes, all you have to do is grab it and drag it. This one is too big for the area that I want. So I'm going to make it a little smaller, but then I can also adjust the angle. Simply by using these arrows here, you can adjust which angle that you want your text to go. I'm going to add a second text box. I'm going to do the same thing here. This text is a little big, so I'm going to adjust it. The background on these are easy to adjust. All you have to do is click in the middle of the page, and then you can change the background color to whatever color you desire. I'm going to go ahead and stay with what was preloaded. And there you go. We now have a poster that is ready. You can label it here with the name that you need to keep up with, and in order to save and share this poster, you simply click the share button. Once you're in the share button, I have used this download button here, and you can select which style in which you would like to have it saved. Generally, I use PDF standard because it's a great way to have it sent and shared. And then you simply download. Once you download, it will download and ask you to save. At that point, you have it readily available. And next, I'm going to transition into how I created my 2-panel brochure. For my 2-panel brochure, I started at the home page of Canva. So here we are back at the home page. And I learned that Canva does not like the verbiage of 2-panel brochure. They like the verbiage of bifold. So here are all the templates for the bifold brochure. I'm going to start with a blank template. Here is my blank template. This will be the front page and the back page of the outside of the template. You simply have to add a page to get the inside and of both pages. Within this, you can create a design if you wanted to change the look of your design for the brochure. But I am simply going to start with a text box, and I'm going to add a heading, and I'm going to call it Walk That Way. You have the ability to move these however you would like. When you adjust these, it adjusts the text as well as your positioning. I am going to change the background. I simply click on the page, and I am going to create my own color to match the school colors. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to change the second page as well, so that both sides match. I have learned using Canva, breaking these into sections is much easier, so I'm going to use the tools bar. I'm going to pick a line, and I'm going to pick a straight line. The original line comes up at straight page break, and it also will give you the degrees in which your line is facing. You also have the ability to select these lines and change the depth and thickness of these lines just by sliding this bar to change the thickness. So I'm going to go ahead and do that on both of these. I have them both set at 12. Now in this corner here, I want to add an image. And so I'm going to go to the elements, and I am going to search for a wall. Within this search, it gives me graphics, photos, videos. I want a high quality photo, so I'm going to look through here, and I'm going to select this photo here. It pulls up way too large, but I have the ability within Canva to put this picture where I would like it. And I am going to go ahead and trim off some of that and put it in there. I really enjoy how Canva is user-friendly and makes things less difficult to manipulate. So on here, this is going to be the front page. I've decided that this is an informational. I'm going to add a subheading. So this is just meant to get information out to students. So I decided along the way that I wanted to try to put some sort of scratch marks across, so I'm going to put tear marks. And that did not give me the image that I want, so I'm going to put in scratch marks. These are the scratch marks that I'm looking for. It comes up under graphics. I had to get out of. The easy thing about this is that you can change it to whatever color you would like. And I'm going to pick white. So within Canva, you have the ability to adjust anything in directions wherever you would like them. I like this one, so I'm going to duplicate it. And I'm going to add another one down here. Everything is easily adjustable to get the look that you desire within your brochure. On this back side, I'm going to put in the student code of conduct with a text box and a subheading. Once again, this easily allows you to adjust your text size and adjustments to where you need your words to be. I'm going to add in the student code of conduct, and I am going to go ahead and change this font to match the rest. And it's simply by clicking on the box, adjusting the color, and selecting the color that you would like. Clicking these boxes is a great way to change everything within the box. On the inside, I am going to add a text box at the top of the page that adds appeal and will also help us with our text or hierarchy. I am going to come in with our days. And add them in here. So simply what I did for these to get these graphics is I went into the elements and I just typed in backwards because the day's dress is dressed backwards. So I typed in backwards and you can see all the pictures that are backwards, and I selected this photo. It was much larger and I scaled it down to size. So next I'm going to add the next day. So here is Tuesday. Today is best dress day. I did the same thing with this photo. Here is Wednesday. And within Canva, you can select all items and move them all together so that you can have every item moved together. Here is Thursday. Once again, you have the ability to highlight and select all items and move them where you would like them. And last is Friday. When making my two-panel brochure, I wanted to fill in some of this empty space with graphics. I simply went into Elements and I typed in paw prints. You can select any paw prints that you would like. I'm going to select this one, even though it's not what I used originally. But I also have the ability to adjust and place right where I need it. I also have the ability to change this color to match the rest. I think that I am going to add a few more claw marks to tie in with the original page. I can change the color. I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to add another one over here. And this is how I built my two-panel brochure. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial, and I look forward to the next one. Thank you.